Hey everyone, this is another episode of Minor Threat, and I'm Dan. Um, I've got a little bit going on. I've put in my notice at work. Officially, my last day will be next Monday, so 7 p.m. after my last 12-hour shift of 4 in a row. I'm going to pick up the kids and celebrate as I'm now my own boss. And because I'm my own boss, there's quite a bit of a nervous excitement, that fine line in there. A pretty daunting task at the age of 50 to abandon employment to pursue a dream of doing this and expanding the mining farm and the hardware and all that good stuff. I'm having an issue with my GPUs right now. They don't want to seem to stay on, so I'm going to dive in on that and troubleshoot to see what the problem is. The 170s will be hashing on Monday. The cables I had ordered are finally being shipped. The regular ATX cables apparently don't handle server power supply. After that, I believe I have an idea to lower the ability for people to get involved in the infrastructure of Kwai to help push hash rate a little higher. I would like to find a way to get the nodes a little more accessible, other than just buying the mini PC necessary to meet the requirements to run a node. I think people are daunting or a little scared of the terminal in Linux. And they really shouldn't be. I mean, you can't really mess things up. If you try a command and it doesn't work, it's not going to let you do it. I got a prototype coming on Monday for that. I'm going to do some work on the firmware and put a little OS inside of it, so it's kind of a little plug and play thing. Other than that, I got my DG1 last Wednesday. I won one from AlphaPex, and I'm really happy about that. Script seems to be the more profitable of the algos right now to mine. I seem to be getting about 2.5 more Kwai per work share on each of the script algo, and I was successfully mining Qi last night, but I don't know why the GPUs don't want to run for more than an hour right now. It's the same old, same old. I'm going to be dedicating more time to making better content, a little structured content. I'd like to expand and maybe doing some podcasting and getting some interviews underway. Maybe I'll find somebody just in the ecosystem itself to see what they're up to and give them a little more time to expand upon what they have going on outside of Kwai Nation hours. I mean, you got about 10 people looking to speak, and after the team updates and I ramble on and not much time left over. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in, the support. There's quite a few of you inside the team that have really stepped up and provided, mostly emotional support and a little bit of technical support way back when I was getting going. You know who you are, and I really appreciate it. That push has gotten me this far today. Other than that, I think it's just more power so I can get more things running at the same time in one spot. Not so bad in the wintertime. I could probably heat the entire house with just those 3 ASICs. But yeah, I'm going to work on trying to get more people involved, and I know there's not much in my local area for blockchain meetups or even anybody mining for all I know. There are some things down in Halifax, which is about an hour away. They have a little blockchain club, but they mostly get together and talk about Bitcoin and have some beers. So I can talk about Bitcoin a little bit and then tell them about the dual token model Kwai has and what Qi is and what Qi can be. I'm really interested in the energy dollar. It was one of the things that I noticed when I started studying Kwai, and doing some liquidity into that pool will go a long way. But as I say, we need more people to be involved in Kwai, and if you go back 6 months, we're actually still up by close to 30% just before SOAP took a hold. So anybody complaining about the price action today is only looking at the last 24 hours or the last 3 months when SOAP was at its peak. Of course, it's going to be down. But I know the team is working on things, and we're getting closer to mining some Bitcoin once the hash rate goes up for the SHA. Right now, we're sitting at about 350 petahash, and we only got to go up another 10 times. I know I'm optimistic as always. If you'd like to see anything different, just drop some comments or reach out to me on X. The handle is The Crack of Dan. You can find me on Discord as well as King Dan. But anyway, I really appreciate everybody for watching. These will get better as I get more consistent with them instead of just one every 2 weeks. Especially, I got to really give the huge shout out to AlphaPex for that Home DG1. I'm going to drop a picture of how I won it, and it was just they provided an image of the miner, and they wanted you to feed it into an AI and come up with a new generated image, and that's how I won. And it's been very profitable lately. The script seems to be just a little bit more KWAI per share, but and the biggest thing I've noticed is I got my node running again. It's always been running, but I got it rebased to the correct pool, and latency has dropped. I'm getting 2 milliseconds for SHA, I think around 12 on my script, and right around 20 on the GPUs if they would stay running. That's why it's so quiet in the room, because the power supply for that's not running at all. But I'm going to dig into that, get that troubleshooted. Looking forward to Dr. K's AMA today at 1 o'clock Atlantic Standard Time, and that's coming up in about an hour and a half. Appreciate it, everybody. Have a great afternoon. Thanks. Bye.